They want to talk to me. So I call them up and we start talking, and they tell me it's a reality TV show. And I had literally never seen a reality TV show.
In the world of reality television, few shows have captured the hearts and imaginations of viewers like Life Below Zero. Among the cast of intrepid adventurers, one man stood out for his unique perspective and fearless approach to living off the grid in the Alaskan wilderness, Glenn Villeneuve. For years, fans tuned in to follow Glenn's journey, marveling at his survival skills and philosophical musings on the beauty and challenge of life in the bush. But in a shocking turn of events, Glenn suddenly disappeared from the show, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. What happened to this beloved figure? Why did he leave the series that made him famous? In this video, we'll dive deep into the mystery surrounding Glenn Villeneuve's departure and explore what he's been up to since leaving Life Below Zero. Glenn's background and journey to Life Below Zero. To understand Glenn Villeneuve's story, we have to go back to his early years. Born and raised in the woods of Vermont, Glenn had an unconventional upbringing that shaped his unique worldview. Instead of attending a traditional school, he was homeschooled by his parents, who taught him not only the basics of reading and writing, but also essential survival skills like hunting, fishing, and foraging. From a young age, Glenn displayed a fearless sense of adventure. At just 9 years old, he was already tackling challenging mountain climbs, scaling peaks like Mount Mansfield. A few years later, at the tender age of 13, he embarked on a daring solo hiking trip from Massachusetts to the Canadian border, a journey that would have tested the mettle of even experienced outdoorsmen. As he grew older, Glenn's passion for the wilderness only intensified. He dreamed of leaving behind the trappings of modern society and living life as a true nomad in the Alaskan bush. In his 20s, he made that dream a reality, moving to Alaska and building a life for himself in the remote backcountry. With nothing but his wits and survival skills to rely on, Glenn learned to hunt, fish, and trap to sustain himself. He built his own shelter, crafted his own tools, and developed a deep understanding of the rhythms and challenges of life in one of the world's harshest environments. It was this unique way of life that eventually caught the attention of producers at BBC Worldwide and National Geographic. They had heard stories of a young man living an extraordinary existence in the Alaskan wilderness and wanted to feature him in a new show they were developing, Life Below Zero. When they reached out to Glenn, he was initially hesitant. He had no interest in fame or fortune and worried that the presence of cameras would disrupt the delicate balance he had struck with the natural world. But the producers assured him that they wanted to capture an authentic portrait of his life, not create manufactured drama. Intrigued by the opportunity to share his philosophy and way of life with a broader audience, Glenn eventually agreed to be a part of the show. Little did he know that this decision would change his life forever and set the stage for a mystery that would captivate viewers for years to come. Glenn's impact and memorable moments on Life Below Zero. From the moment Glenn Villeneuve first appeared on Life Below Zero, it was clear that he was a different kind of reality TV star. Unlike some of his fellow cast members who seemed to relish the drama and conflict that came with living in close quarters in the wilderness, Glenn approached his life with a sense of quiet introspection and reverence for the natural world. He quickly became a fan favorite, admired for his fearless adventures and unparalleled wilderness skills. One of Glenn's most memorable moments on the show came during a thrilling caribou hunting expedition. With nothing but his trusty rifle and years of tracking experience to guide him, Glenn set out into the rugged Alaskan backcountry in pursuit of his prey. Viewers watched in awe as he navigated treacherous terrain, battling sub-zero temperatures and whiteout conditions as he closed in on the herd. When he finally took his shot, it was a moment of pure adrenaline and a testament to his incredible skill as a hunter. But Glenn's adventures weren't always so triumphant. In another unforgettable episode, he found himself face-to-face with a terrifying adversary, a pack of aggressive wolves that had ventured too close to his cabin. With the safety of his sled dogs and his own life on the line, Glenn was forced to confront the predators head-on. In a heart-stopping showdown, he managed to fend off the wolves, but not before giving viewers a visceral reminder of the very real dangers that come with living in the wild. Perhaps what made Glenn such a compelling figure on the show was his unique perspective on life in the bush. While other cast members often focused on the daily struggle for survival, the constant battle against the elements, the scarcity of food and resources, Glenn approached his existence with a more philosophical bent. He saw his life not as a hardship to be endured, but as an opportunity to live in harmony with nature. He spoke eloquently about the beauty and richness of the wilderness, and the deep sense of fulfillment that came from being self-reliant and connected to the land. Glenn's holistic view of bush life sometimes put him at odds with the show's producers, who tended to emphasize the more dramatic and conflict-driven aspects of living off the grid. Glenn clashed with the production team over how his lifestyle was portrayed, arguing that they were missing the deeper essence of what made his way of life so meaningful. He resisted attempts to manufacture drama or create false narratives, insisting on authenticity even if it meant sacrificing screen time. This independent streak also led to tensions with the show's crew. Glenn had a habit of going off on his own for days at a time, pursuing his own adventures without notifying anyone of his whereabouts. While this made for fascinating television, it also created logistical nightmares and raised concerns about Glenn's safety. The production team grew increasingly worried about the risks Glenn was taking and the potential liability issues that could arise if something went wrong. These behind-the-scenes conflicts would eventually come to a head, setting the stage for Glenn's shocking departure from the show. The mystery behind Glenn's sudden departure. For fans of Life Below Zero, Glenn Villeneuve's sudden disappearance from the show in 2019 came as a devastating blow. With no warning or explanation, one of the series' most beloved characters was simply gone, leaving viewers with a sense of confusion and loss. What could have happened to drive Glenn away from the show that had made him a star? As rumors swirled and speculation ran rampant, the mystery only deepened. It wasn't until months later that Glenn finally broke his silence and offered some insight into his decision to leave the show. In a candid Facebook post, he revealed that he had been unceremoniously let go by the show's producers, who had apparently decided to move in a new direction for the upcoming season. Glenn expressed his shock and disappointment at the news, saying that he had been given no warning or explanation for the decision. He had poured his heart and soul into the show for years, and to be cast aside so abruptly felt like a betrayal. Fans were quick to rally around Glenn, offering their support and condolences. Many speculated about the reasons behind his firing, with theories ranging from creative differences to concerns about insurance and liability. Some wondered if Glenn's daring exploits and penchant for going off script had simply become too much of a risk for the network to handle. Others pointed to the show's shifting tone in recent seasons, with a greater emphasis on interpersonal drama and conflict, rather than the rugged authenticity that had made it so compelling in the early years. As the days turned into weeks and months, Glenn remained tight-lipped about the specifics of his departure. But in interviews and appearances on other shows, he began to hint at the deeper issues that had been simmering beneath the surface. He spoke of his frustration with the show's producers, who he felt were more interested in creating drama and spectacle than capturing the true essence of life in the wilderness. He bristled at the way his lifestyle was sometimes portrayed, with an emphasis on hardship and struggle, rather than the beauty and freedom he found in living off the land. Glenn also opened up about the toll that filming had taken on his ability to live the way he wanted. The demands of production, the long hours, the constant need for retakes and staged scenarios had begun to feel like a burden, pulling him away from the simple joys of bush life. He longed to return to the rhythms of the natural world, to live life on his own terms without the pressure of cameras and crew. For their part, the show's producers remained largely silent on the matter of Glenn's departure. In a brief statement, they wished him well and thanked him for his contributions to the series, but offered no further insight into the decision to let him go. Some fans speculated that there may have been legal or financial considerations at play, with the network weighing the costs and benefits of keeping Glenn on the show. Others wondered if the producers had simply grown tired of his independent streak and unwillingness to play by their rules. Whatever the truth behind Glenn's exit, there was no denying the impact he had made on the series and its viewers. His unique perspective, his fearless spirit, and his deep connection to the Alaskan wilderness had made him a true original, and his absence left a void that could not be easily filled. As fans mourned his loss and celebrated his legacy, they couldn't help but wonder what the future held for this enigmatic and fascinating figure. Life after life below zero. What Glenn is up to now. In the wake of his sudden departure from Life Below Zero, many fans wondered what would become of Glenn Villeneuve. Would he retreat from the public eye, returning to the solitary life in the wilderness that had defined him for so long? Or would he find a new way to share his unique perspective and love of the natural world with others? As it turns out, Glenn's life after the show has been a reflection of his multifaceted personality, balancing his passion for adventure with a newfound focus on family and community. One of the biggest changes in Glenn's life in recent years has been his growing family. In 2017, he welcomed a daughter with his partner, a fellow adventurer and wilderness guide named Trisha Kazan. Fatherhood has brought a new dimension to Glenn's existence, filling his days with the joys and challenges of raising a child in the remote Alaskan bush. While he continues to hunt, fish, and forage to provide for his family, Glenn has also embraced the domestic side of life, finding deep satisfaction in the simple pleasures of cooking, playing with his daughter, and creating a warm and loving home. But while Glenn's priorities may have shifted, his love for the wilderness remains as strong as ever. He continues to explore the rugged landscapes of Alaska, pushing himself to new limits and honing his survival skills with each passing year. Whether he's tracking caribou through the snow-covered tundra or navigating whitewater rapids in a handcrafted canoe, Glenn is always seeking out new challenges and adventures. He's also found new ways to share his experiences and philosophy with others. In recent years, Glenn has become an active presence on social media, using platforms like Facebook and Instagram to connect with fans and offer a window into his daily life. Through his posts and videos, he shares his thoughts on everything from the beauty of the changing seasons to the importance of living in harmony with the natural world. He's also become a sought-after guest on podcasts and other shows, where he shares stories of his adventures and offers insights into the unique challenges and rewards of life in the bush. But Glenn's post-Life Below Zero life hasn't been all about adventure and self-discovery. He's also proven to have a keen business sense, with a knack for spotting opportunities and making savvy investments. In recent years, he's become involved in real estate, buying and renovating properties in Alaska and beyond. He's also dabbled in the stock market, using his analytical mind and willingness to take calculated risks to build a diverse portfolio of investments. Through it all, Glenn has remained true to himself and his values. He may no longer be a regular presence on television screens, but his impact on the world of reality TV and the hearts of his fans endures. His story is a testament to the power of following one's passions, staying true to one's beliefs, and embracing the unpredictable journey of life with courage and grace. Glenn's wilderness wisdom. Lessons from a life lived off the grid. Throughout his remarkable journey, both on and off the screen, Glenn Villeneuve has accumulated a wealth of knowledge and insight into what it means to live a life in harmony with the natural world. His experiences in the Alaskan wilderness have taught him valuable lessons that resonate not only with fans of Life Below Zero, but with anyone seeking a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world. Perhaps one of the most profound lessons Glenn has learned is the importance of self-reliance. Living off the grid, far from the comforts and conveniences of modern society, he has had to depend on his own skills, knowledge, and resourcefulness to survive. This has taught him the value of being able to take care of oneself, both physically and mentally. It's a lesson that applies not only to survival in the wilderness, but to life in general. The more we can rely on our own abilities and inner strength, the more resilient and adaptable we become. Another key piece of wisdom Glenn has gained from his years in the bush is the importance of living in the present moment. In a world that is constantly buzzing with distractions and demands on our attention, it can be easy to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. But when you're living in the wilderness, where each day brings new challenges and opportunities, there is no choice but to focus on the here and now. Glenn has learned to embrace this mindset, finding joy and purpose in the simple tasks of daily life, gathering wood for the fire, tracking game, or just sitting in quiet contemplation of the beauty around him. Perhaps most importantly, Glenn's life in the Alaskan bush has taught him the value of humility and respect in the face of nature's awesome power. Living in such close proximity to the raw forces of the natural world, he has come to understand the smallness of human concerns in the grand scheme of things. He has learned to approach the wilderness with a sense of reverence and a deep appreciation for the delicate balance that sustains all life on Earth. These are just a few of the many lessons that Glenn Villeneuve has learned from his extraordinary life in the Alaskan wilderness. Through his words and his example, he invites us all to reflect on our own relationship with the natural world and to consider how we might live our lives with greater purpose, authenticity, and connection to the world around us. Whether we're braving the challenges of the Arctic tundra or simply navigating the ups and downs of daily life, Glenn's wilderness wisdom offers a roadmap for a life well lived, one that is rooted in self-reliance, mindfulness, and a deep respect for the beauty and power of the natural world. Glenn's lasting impact and legacy. As we look back on the extraordinary life and career of Glenn Villeneuve, it's clear that his impact extends far beyond his time on Life Below Zero. Through his unconventional path to stardom, his fearless adventures in the Alaskan wilderness, and his unique philosophical perspective, Glenn has left an indelible mark on the world of reality television and the hearts of countless fans around the world. While the mystery surrounding his departure from the show may never be fully resolved, there's no denying the power of Glenn's story and the way it has resonated with viewers. His journey from a homeschooled kid in the Vermont woods to a rugged survivalist in the Alaskan bush is a testament to the transformative power of following one's passions and staying true to oneself. His unwavering commitment to living life on his own terms, even in the face of incredible challenges and hardships, has inspired countless others to reflect on their own priorities and values. But Glenn's legacy is about more than just his individual story. Through his words and actions, he has become a powerful symbol of a different way of life, one that prizes self-reliance, connection to nature, and the simple joys of living in harmony with the world around us. In a society that often feels disconnected and adrift, Glenn's example serves as a reminder of what is possible when we strip away the trappings of modern life and focus on what truly matters. As Glenn continues to thrive in his new life as a father, partner, and wilderness explorer, his story serves as an ongoing source of inspiration for all those who dream of charting their own course and living life to the fullest. Whether he's sharing his adventures on social media, guesting on a podcast, or simply living his best life in the Alaskan bush, Glenn Villeneuve remains an enduring symbol of the pioneering spirit and the untamed beauty of the natural world. So what do you think of Glenn's incredible journey? Are you inspired by his fearless approach to life and his unwavering commitment to his values? Do you find yourself longing for a simpler, more authentic way of living in closer connection to the world around you? If so, you're not alone. Glenn's story has touched the lives of millions of viewers around the world, and his legacy continues to grow with each passing year. Whether you're a die-hard fan of Life Below Zero or simply someone who appreciates a good story of adventure and self-discovery, there's no denying the power of Glenn Villeneuve's tale. So if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories of real-life heroes and adventurers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on Glenn's journey in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.